All right, so what riff do you think it is, dude? Put your guess in the comments before I give it away right now. It's the Rosetta Stone riff in 11, dude. This one. God, dude, it's so good. Okay, why does that riff unlock your understanding of everything? Well, you probably already figured out because you've been watching my previous videos. It's just combinations of threes and twos, dude. And what do you notice about the guitar when it's tuned to these intervals, right? The drop D tuning. This is D flat, but it's the same intervals as Adam Jones is using. It's the perfect machine to play threes and twos with the flawlessness of ergonomics supporting you, okay? Right? Ergonomics meaning like, look at the way my hand moves here. It's the most ergonomic movement that my hand could possibly have, meaning that if I want to play a riff like this at a fast tempo, it's going to be extremely easy. Now, the craziest thing is, unless I'm forgetting, I don't think there are any other Adam Jones riffs that actually use that technique. And if I'm forgetting, then just put it in the comments because that may have slipped my mind, although I have been thinking about it for a few days now. Not to mention, I literally have transcribed every single Tool song ever. And so that Rosetta Stone riff is unique in that ergonomic picking ability. So in my composition, I heavily rely on that because I always need to be addressing threes and twos, and I want to take advantage of the ergonomics that are afforded by just like this sort of way of picking, right? Okay, so now that you know where the lost keys are, dude, let's get into the computers so I can literally show you how to apply this technique to an original riff. All right, for this riff, let's not even use a beat cycle, dude. Let's go in the other direction here, right? We're gonna use a rhythm that I've talked about in previous videos. It's called the rhythm. I call it that because it's so ubiquitous that it's comical. You've probably heard it over 1,000 times. Tool uses it in at least 33% of their songs, but honestly, like I want to say closer to like 50% of their songs use this specific rhythm. And I literally just call it the 4 dotted quarter notes followed by 2 quarter notes rhythm. That's what it is, right? That rhythm. Daka da daka da daka da daka da daka daka. Right? You literally have heard it a million times. So I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste that because typically what you're going to have with a rhythm like this is a call and a response, right? So I'm definitely copying and pasting that rhythm, knowing that the first time the rhythm happens is the call, the second time the rhythm happens is the response. So what could be a nice call? I'm just going to think about minor pentatonic availability, you know, right? Like something like that, maybe. Ding, 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 something like this. Yeah, I'm just hearing, like, you hear that rhythm just kind of gives you everything you need very, very quickly, right? So that's a call right there. So let's just hear that. What's that call sound like? Fucking sick. Okay, so what could the response be? I'm hearing starting on a different note. Like a jump up here, like that. Landing on the 4, though. Emphasizing the 4th of the key. That is not something I've heard many people do enough, honestly, because it's pretty sick. So, okay, let's hear those together. There's your call and response. Now, the thing about that riff is that it's the perfect riff to play that, like, ergonomic picking, right? So it's like, if I'm thinking about how I'm going to play this, I'm thinking about this note here. That's just my open string note, right? So if I'm going to pick that as a 3, I'm picking it as 1, 5, 1, right? I'm thinking like D flat, A flat, D flat. Right? And that's just easy for me to just like let my pick fall through those. And then when I go to the next note, I'm going to the 5th of the key, I'm playing the same thing. I'm playing the 1 of the 5, the 5 of the 5, and the 1 up an octave of the 5, right? And my pick just flows right through that. So it's that ducka da ducka da da. Sick. It sounds like a rodeo or something. I love that sound. And I can do that with each of these, right? That's why it's perfect. Obviously here, now it gets stirred up a little bit, something a little different. But that's why that Adam Jones technique is so powerful. It just fills out your riff with a lot of rhythmic momentum. So I'm just copying and pasting that, like, because I'm guessing that's probably going to be sufficient here. But you know what? Because of the simplicity, I am going to take it a little bit further here and just make another riff, same exact rhythm though, identical rhythm, but has a bit of a longer harmonic rhythm, just to kind of show some possibilities here, right? Just to open your minds, okay? Pretend that entire previous riff, this entire previous riff was a call, and now we're dealing with the response to that. So we can have macro call responses, just like we can have micro call and responses, right? So what could be a nice response to that riff? Well, something simpler, but definitely the same length. But like what I mean by simpler is it's like literally more predictable, right? This kind of thing. So that ends up being a call, like a micro call within that riff, right? And then the next riff is probably like, how do we respond to that? Maybe by just landing on the fourth instead of the flat 3, right? See where we're going here, right? Same little 2/8 note thing. That's always fun, right? Okay, and now I feel like what's going to happen here is it's literally just going to be a repetition of that first sequence in the riff there. And now this is the turnaround, okay? And I saw this 10 miles away. This is like where you're going to use the flat 6, dude. You use a flat 6 when you're trying to complete that cycle, right? It's always like your final thruster booster, you know? It's like the flat 6, this is where it is. It's going to replace the root, right? Because normally at the beginning of all these riffs, it starts on the root, but the flat 6 is essentially going to replace the root, right? But I'm thinking of it as like, it's really just this riff again. It's almost that exact same riff again, but it's just the flat 6 instead of the root is beginning, which means that this is probably just going to be exactly repeated right here, right? And that's probably going to be that riff. That's probably going to be a sick riff. Okay, let's listen to that. Yeah, that's an iconic banger. Just add water. Just like that, dude. So if you want to hear the entire song, you're only going to be able to hear it if you're in the school, dude. Yep, that's the only place you get to hear any of this music. I told you, every single week I'm uploading a brand new all-time iconic banger only in the school group. My students are the only ones who get to hear it because I'm leading by example, dude. Systems for creation, dude. Just got to keep cranking those bangers out. It's the quantity that leads to the quality, right? Don't get fixated on one song. Write 500 songs and you'll have at least 33 all-time iconic bangers. And I can already say this one is shaping up to be one of those all-time iconic bangers. Now, the other thing that's happening in the school, dude, is I'm building a faculty that's literally world-class masters of all time. So I want to tell you about one person that's in the group. Obviously, dude, it's good old Eric Quinn, the trombone meshuggah Eric Quinn, dude. This guy, remember this guy? Playing out in the woods, meshuggah on a trombone, dude. That's the kind of person you need in the school. He's in the school, dude. He's at your disposal, kid, okay? So go to the school and you can talk to Eric Quinn, dude. You can become his student and you can hear the new song, okay? And I've got other masters on the faculty. It's literally like we're the freaking dream team over here, dude. Welcome to school, get into systems of creation, dude, and learn how to become the master.
See you in class, kid!